Hi, I'm the BossProblemBuster, founder of the Pay Raise Commando, a senior organizational consultant of 24 years, having worked across cultures, industries, and ranks with 7,250 employees trained between us, my team and I. I'm also a social psychologist with a master's and a bachelor's degrees, both with honors. My team and I train past over corporate professionals like you to get that pay raise and promotion you're overdue for, so that you can finally kill your Monday blues before you sink further and bring your inner joy back, which is the best part of my job and the goal of this channel. Kill your Monday blues and bring your inner joy back. Now, back to the salt mines. You are not focused on the job. This was Office Romance Boss Problem number 1, and it made you unpromotable and unpay-raisable, which is why we need to thoroughly fix it today. A quick reminder, we have seen how you and Schmoopy's physical proximity at the office increases your temptation to focus on yourselves rather than on the job itself, for which you are being paid. So, not a promising path to ask for a pay raise on top of your current salary, because you're not justifying it as it is, or a promotion for that matter. Watch here for the full video. The method we're applying throughout this big fix is reverse engineering, as we follow the breadcrumb trail we have laid all along to get us out of the woods and back into eligibility for both a promotion and a pay raise. Thus, the fix here would seem to be to readjust your focus from your office romance back to the job itself. That would be the obvious reverse engineering of your lack of focus that stems from your office romance, right? Well, technically, yes. Realistically, no. Why? Because never in the history of humankind have two schmoopies in the thralls of passionately falling in love been able to shift their focus from one another elsewhere, all the more so to a job which is always so boring and mundane and frivolous even in comparison, and all the more so still when your schmoopy is right across the hall, or worse yet, right at the next cubicle. So the straightforward reverse engineering is not going to happen, which is why I don't advise it. Indeed, this reverse engineering in this fix cannot count on you two alone. Instead, it would take a full support system in the form of a buddy system in 3 layers to do the job, but it will do so very effectively. What am I talking about? Stick around and find out. It will save your career. Oh, and remember to watch this together with Schmoopy. Last time, we have launched the Big Fix, which is the second part of this Sex and the Workplace deck. In it, we go over each and every office romance boss problem we've covered and reverse engineer your way out of that specific predicament so you can restore your eligibility for that promotion and or pay raise you so want, which took a serious hit once you embarked on your office romance. And we do so as in-depth and as meticulously as we did the first part, so that you have this unique resource online. I truly do not know of any similar one on this topic. So hopefully it is as practical to you as I have intended it to be. And now that you have a solid base to build on, we start fixing the original 7, the OG, in order, one by one. So let's get to number 1. You're not focused on the job. To recap, you need to keep your focus on the job when you're at the office. Hello, obviously. You cannot do that entirely on your own because of biology's raging hormones when you are attracted to someone, or maybe even in love, which is further exacerbated by the fact that Schmoopy is nearby. Therefore, the fix needed here must address the fact that even knowing what to do, it is hard to execute on your own, which is why I have devised this fix as a daily support system that keeps you fully covered as long as you implement its 3 layers concurrently. The great thing about this fix is that once you get the idea, and you will very easily, you can simply rinse and repeat for each of the 3 layers. So it's a 3-in-1 kind of thing. Let me first explain what I mean, and then I'll give the examples to illustrate it. You and Shmoopy are going to form a buddy system in 3 layers, working from the outside in: external, internal, and solo. How so? Simple. At the external layer, each of you should enlist a close friend, preferably from outside of the office, and this friend would be your buddy, who will keep you in check by utilizing the following system, hence the buddy system. He or she will message you with very specific messages, custom made for you, that I will address in a moment. They can do so by text, email, video call, whatever is most convenient and effective for both of you. The medium or technology doesn't matter. The repetition and content of those messages do. As to the repetition, your friend will contact you on agreed upon times that don't interfere with your work, otherwise it would defy the whole purpose. That could be on your commute to work, on your lunch break, and or on Sunday night as you gear yourself up for another week. Again, whatever is most convenient and effective for the both of you. I call it VCN, voluntary, constructive, wait for it, nagging. Voluntary because you volunteer to be nagged. The term is obviously facetious, but have no mistake, its purpose and function are very serious. Remember, you need this buddy system to help you focus on the job because, as explained before, it would be nearly impossible to do so entirely on your own. And I'm not talking about doing it forever, only for the initial head over heel phase of your budding office romance when you can't think straight. Once this infatuation subsides and hopefully true love has blossomed, I'm getting poetic again, it will naturally stabilize and you will find focusing back on the work easier, thus making Office Romance Boss Problem number 1, you're not focused on the job, irrelevant. It will cease to exist, in which time you can release your friend from this lovingly obnoxious VCN, voluntary constructive nagging. Okay, so we've seen how this buddy system works in terms of its principal concept. The good friend who is external to your relationship, hence the name external layer, and we have the daily repetition of messages. Now let's get to the content of those messages. It should not be arbitrary, and your friend should not have to just come up with it out of the top of his or her head. This will prove ineffective because your friend won't be able to keep it up unless he or she is a professional writer, which they're probably not, let's face it, and also because it just won't do the job psychologically. You need to hack your psyche, and in order to do that, general tropes like, hey buddy, focus, won't do. Instead, the messages need to be very specific, custom made for you, which means they need to be very idiosyncratic. Why? Exactly. What? Let me explain. For such a nag or nudge or prod to be effective, it has to invoke a desire you have. Because you're not an idiot, you know you should focus on the job. The problem is you can't at this time. That's the whole nature of this Office Romance Boss Problem number 1. So simply repeating it, focus, 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 doesn't help you. Instead, the best motivator is the why of the job. You need to know to which end or goal or dream or ambition or all of the above. In other words, the why. Why do you need to focus on this job? Well, duh, I'm only doing it for the money. Sure, that's totally legitimate, but still, There is a reason why you need this money. Yeah, well, I need this money to live. Exactly. That's a big deal to be able to live. Now, what precisely in your life do you want to finance that is worth your time and effort focusing on this job, which is the source for that financing? Remember, you are going for a promotion and a pay raise until your coworker relationship interfered, hence this entire deck trying to make you eligible again. What I mean is, you do not only feel the need for the money you currently earn at this job, you have aspirations to earn more. Why? Maybe you'd like to move to a better apartment building in a more exclusive neighborhood with more amenities, or maybe you would like to buy a house and start your way on the property ladder. Maybe you're dreaming of a trip around the world, or to Europe or South America or Southeast Asia. Or maybe you have a hobby that requires some equipment you want to acquire or upgrade. Maybe you need the money to develop your side hustle, hoping to one day become self-employed and quit the rat race. Or maybe you are saving and investing, hoping for an early retirement when you will finally get to just do your thing. It's all good, whatever it is, as long as it sparks a vision of a better future within you, from which you can reconnect with your professional workplace ambition, and from which you can derive focus on the job, which is what we're after here. So for example, your buddy could message you something like, "So how much is that rent again?" referring to that upgraded apartment you're after. Or maybe, "No focus, no Goa," a well-known party scene if that's your thing. Goa is a state in West India. It could also be very idiosyncratic from a negative side, i.e. not what you're striving for, but what you're running away from, which is actually for most people much more motivating, psychologically speaking. So maybe something like, your parents' basement is kind of damp, right? To remind you what happens if your lack of focus will cause you to lose this job, in which case not only will you not be able to upgrade your apartment as you so wish, but worse, you will be forced to go back home with your tail between your legs. And what will become of your office romance then? You get the point. Note the messages are short and concise. This is not an essay. So whatever it is, it should be very idiosyncratic, almost cryptic to anyone else, but you know these are the buttons that can push you and prod you back on track. And of course, Shmoopy should do the same with her best friend. Or his. Or theirs. Whatever. If you'd like the full transcript of this video and all the videos on this channel, see the link in the description. It's on our website, BossProblemBuster.com, because it's too long to paste here, so not a trick to get you there. But if you do hop over, you'll find many practical reads and a forum where you can discreetly and anonymously ask us anything in regards to landing that promotion and pay raise, to which we reply very quickly. Each video drops inconvenient truth bombs on you right, left, and center, all very direct, pragmatic, and very much non-PC. No fluff, no bullshit. So, if you'd like to get a promotion with a pay raise, or a pay raise independent of a promotion, kill your Monday blues and bring your inner joy back, and if you can handle the truth, you can handle the truth. I'm channeling Jack Nicholson. Then subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and hit the notification bell so that we can meet again. And until then, go back to work. You know I can't help you get that promotion and pay raise if you don't actually do the job.